you were good, cause I'm running out of breath and my patience wearing thin. A house divided will never stand. You couldn't agree on the rock, so you're sunk in the sand. So this is why we're here, putting out a call to open up your eyes so that we can see all of the problems, the mishaps and the big mistakes, and separate the leaders from the phonies and the fakes.
Brought to you in part by Spectacle Productions, volunteer television at its best. And the Paul H. and Angela R. Herring Fund, determined to make a difference. Also by the Juneteenth Committee, asking African Americans to join the village, and the Kwanzaa Committee, asking residents to bring the holiday home. The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of our volunteer staff and or supporters.
Good evening and welcome to Common Ground. I'm your host today, Tracy Fountain, and here we have with us today Mr. Herbert Cleave, former Vice President of the Flint Board of Education, community activist, also a former veteran of the Vietnam War, as well as proud father of professional basketball player Mateen Cleave. And we have him here with us today because we want to discuss some of the issues that are going on in our school district and our city. And we would like to offer Mr. Cleave an opportunity to discuss his experience as a board member.
My experience as a board member was very enlightening. After being an advocate out here in the community for 35 or 40 years and being elected to the board, I found out about things I didn't even know about. But now that I know it, I'm going to spread the gospel to the community to get them involved so that we can take our school district back.
Oh, absolutely. What do you see are some of the challenges that the school district will be facing this year, seeing that it's been a transition with the loss of our superintendent, Dr. Milton? We currently have a new interim superintendent, Ms. Linda Thompson, as well as new board members.
I think the biggest challenge is the fact that they must come to the community. They somehow feel and think that we need to come down to the Service Center at their board meetings. We do not. They need to come to the community, invite us in, have some wholesome and healthy discussion about major issues that are not even being brought up. I know that the teachers in the school district are tired of the disciplinary kinds of problems that we're having. And the only way to address those issues is to have parent involvement about these kind of issues. And the only way they can do that, they have to come to the community. The school system is going to continue to fail as long as we don't have parent involvement.
What are some of the things that we can do, do you think, to get more parents involved? I, too, am a parent of a 14-year-old high school student, and when I go to the games, our parents aren't there. Also, I realize as a prior board member as well that not many parents come down to the board meetings. What can we do to increase those numbers?
Well, one of the things the parents have done, they have rejected the Flint Schools system. They have rejected the board members. They have rejected the policies and disciplinary actions at the Flint Board of Education. And the Flint Board of Education, it's up to them to go to the parents, go to the community, walk around in the neighborhoods, ask the parents, show up in the communities one day and just talk to the parents. At the same time, they need to be educating the parents and invite the parents in. When they send letters home to parents indicating to them that y'all should come to the board meetings, y'all should come up to the school, they don't believe that. A lot of these parents were young parents who were in the Flint school system. They didn't get treated right, and the only time they really come up to the school is when something has happened to their child. And if I was a teacher, I would want every parent of a child that I had in the classroom to come and visit that classroom so they could actually see. But the teachers, a lot of them don't want parents in the building to see what's happening and see what's going on. And the other big thing about all of this is that parents need to know and understand they own the schools, not the teacher, not the principal, Not the superintendent of school, not the Flint Board of Education. The parents own the schools. The parents are the CEOs. They have all the power to do anything that they want with the school district, and they must organize themselves and come back and take their school district back and put it in the hands of the people.
Right, we have many laws like the No Child Left Behind Law Act, which really encourages community involvement. And what is your take on that? And let the community know what the laws or the act is expecting them to do.
When this act was passed, the Board of Education should have went to the community to really explain it. Parents don't even understand what it is. They just don't know. And we need to be in the community. We need to be on the radio. We need to be on TV. We need to be doing programs like this to educate and inform the parents. Churches need to be more involved. They need to, every church ought to have an education committee to be at these board meetings so they can take that information back to their local churches. I'm going to try to request from pastors that they start these education committees and have people to start coming to the Board of Education meetings. And also, I'm going to try to explain to parents the kind of questions and things they need to ask, all about the money. The money is the biggest key, and people say we don't have enough money to do a lot of the things that need to be done. We do have the money because somebody's getting paid, and there are a whole lot of other kind of issues as it relates to that money, but I see a whole lot of new avenues that can be taken by parents to take control of their school district and get some help from people who have the expertise and background to do a lot of the kind of work that needs to be done at the Flint Board of Education.
Right. Another question I want to ask is, what is your opinion on the impact that the media is having on our school district and our community as a whole?
The media is trying to protect a lot of people at the Flint Board of Education. For example, there's approximately 2,000 teachers. 1,500 of those teachers are white, and almost 70% of them live out of town. They call me a racist for bringing that up. I'm not a racist, but the point is this: I don't care if these teachers live in Egypt. If they're not earning their pay, they're not doing the kind of things that need to be done. How can a person with a bachelor's, master's, or maybe a PhD let young people take over the classroom? They don't have any kind of anything to offer these kids in terms of motivation, who they are, and parents need to beat the door down to get Black history in the curriculum so these children will know who they are, that they came from Black kings and queens. You can't find a picture of a Black king or a queen in the whole Flint School District, and if anybody happens to see one, I wish they would get a hold of me so I could come and look at it. I haven't seen one in the 6 years I've been on the board.
Speaking of people trying to portray you as a racist, what is your viewpoint on the race relations in this community and in the school district?
Well, what we have here is you have a bunch of people who don't have a clue about who we are. We were taught all the things about what the white community has done ever since they arrived on the Mayflower. So we know who they are and what they're all about. But they don't have a sense of urgency to learn who we are and what we're all about. We could be living in peace and harmony in this community and anywhere in America if people were concerned about race relations. We're not advocating that white children ought to marry Black